Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Hard West 2 with me, Bergson. Let's check out Pine Falls. Pine Falls, a fine town. Finally, we were welcomed by the hustle and bustle of a true hard western society. Luckily for Deer and Bill, people were so busy, no one even looked at us twice. Look around town.
New town, new trouble. Ha! Makes me feel alive again.
It seemed that all that commotion was tied to a rescue expedition. Good folk of Pine Falls rushing to the aid of their brethren in Boomtown. Right. More like their greed and fear. They needed the furs, and they needed the trains grounded at Boomtown. And to do that, they needed to clear the great avalanche blocking the eastern pass. This is serious. If that pass isn't cleared soon, the people in that valley, including everyone in Boomtown, won't survive that freak winter. Hope they make it.
The only smart move here.
Well, I wish them luck, really. We have more pressing matters to attend to currently. I'll visit the store first. Hello, good sir. Welcome to T. Brown & Son. And I'm the son. Ha. How may I be of service? How's it going? The government finally sent the army to fight those aggressive natives. The people say they came underprepared and are stuck here, just like we are. Always good to have some rope on hand. Alright, let's visit the doctor's office. Went to visit the local surgeon, hoping he won't ask too many questions. Alright, visit the sheriff's office. Sheriff Tom seemed like a cozy, lazy bastard, but something in his eyes told me he's not to be trifled with. What's the situation? What can you tell me about Pine Falls, Sheriff? It's a nice, peaceful town. I'd prefer it to stay that way. Alright, check the town's notice board. There are 2 wanted posters hanging on the notice board, among some petty old leaflets. Wanted, Ernie Barguckle.
Wanted, preferably alive. Murderer of Mrs. Maringer and her unborn child, one Ernest Barguckle. If you have any information regarding Ernie, visit the sheriff's office.
I wonder if we can actually take him alive. It's Devil the Bounty. Take the poster. Ah yes, Ernie. Sleazy bastard. Used to rob remote trading posts, but during his last job he accidentally killed the local pastor's pregnant wife. The folks here are quite eager to hang him. Before this crazy winter, some writers saw him around Hunchback Pass. And wanted Pilate.
Wanted, preferably dead. Mysterious murderer and torturer at large, nicknamed Pilate. Visit sheriff's office for more information.
That's just $90 across the board. Take the poster. We'll hunt down this killer. Ask about Ernie Barguckle. If you're after Ernie, I can only wish you luck. He holed up somewhere at the Hunchback Pass, and I doubt anyone will manage to rat him out of there before all this snow thaws. Still, if you want to try, be my guests. Be warned though, that Ernie is afraid of nothing. Well, maybe except fire. He got severely burned as a kid. Ask about the pilot. Ah, this one's a pain in the butt. We have a loony on the loose, killing people, nailing them to crosses, torturing. And the worst thing is that the state had a similar problem 15 years ago. Then one day, it just stopped. Now this pilot is back and killing again. Townsfolk are scared. Heard that Sal from local saloon is pulling extra cash for whomever finds and kills the bastard. If you want to hunt Pilot down, you might want to look around the crime scene. Sadie Marlowe was found on a cross right in front of her own house. Right there. I'll mark it for you. Visit Sal's Saloon. We entered Sal's Saloon. There's a place full of two-faced scum who kept smiles on their faces while bringing suckers out to the very last cent. Not my favorite joint in town, but we're not there to drink. After we mentioned the pilot, Sal asked us to follow him to his small office. Tom's right. I am gathering extra cash for the reward. People are terrified. You never know when you might stumble across a victim nailed to a cross in the wilds. If you really want to catch the bastard, there's one man who might help. A trapper named Bergson. I'll mark his ranch on your map. Alright, let's talk to the head of the expedition. We stood in the street, smoking and going through our munitions, while Lazarus has been parleying with the expedition foreman. He seemed to be quite respected in Pine Falls. After a longer while, he walked back to us and explained the situation. They have two main problems they need to solve to get this expedition underway. And that means we have two problems, so we desperately need to get to Boomtown. First, they need workers. Not the soft townsfolk of Pine Falls, no. They need seasoned pioneers, like the people from Kala Kala. And two, they need an expert. Someone who did similar work in past. Good news is they already found one. Bad news, he got lost somewhere north from here. Vanished without a trace. If we want to get to Boomtown and grab the siphon, we'll need to help them solve those problems.
Why do we always have to do these people's dirty jobs? I wonder what would happen if for once we would ask them for help. I bet they would drop everything and risk their lives straight away.
Come now, Flynn. These people suffered enough. We might as well help them along the way. You side with Lazarus.
Good choice, Carter.
Lazarus is right. You want old Mervyn to freeze to death, Flynn. Come on. They're counting on us. Besides, we need this pass open anyway. So we've already been to Kala Kala, and we saw that no one survived. Maybe we should ask the refugees we met at Zeke's trading post if they'd be willing to join the expedition's effort. As for the missing engineer, I have an idea who might have taken him. The cursed Moses O'Kane and his whole clan of inbreds. I can lead you there. Well, folks, seems like finding that engineer is our priority now. Lead the way, preacher. There's no time to lose. Alright, we've got a fair bit to do.
I think I spotted something. That direction.
Oh, she doesn't have any cards equipped. As a companion, we still didn't unlock a new ability for him yet. Needs to be at least an ally. What does patching up status do? I guess we can find out, right? Speed +4. Yeah, to him. We'll swap out Playlish with Laughing Deer for this fight. It took us hours to track down Ernie in the Hunchback Pass. Finally, we approached a solid hunting tree stand perched high on a mighty fir. There we saw light and smoke coming out of it. It had to be the place. Approach the tree stand. Once we moved toward the stand, we heard shots and the snow around us exploded in a gunfire. That bastard had a perfect position. There's no mystery now why no one managed to bring him in. We pulled back and hid some distance from the tree. Okay, let's use Claylish. Depend on Claylish's experience. You stay here as a diversion, while I double back, falling through snow and get him from behind. I'll end this swiftly. Keep shooting, make sure he thinks we're all here. After an hour or so, we heard a single shot, and wounded Ernie fell from the stand onto the snow. Claylish joined us soon enough, looking like a snowman.
To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice.
Now that it's done, we should get back to Pine Falls and the sheriff's office. A little disappointing. I was expecting that to be a actual fight. Alright, get the bounty for Ernie Barguckle. I'm surprised you managed to catch him alive. Well, folks will have their spectacle after all. Here's your reward. Well earned, pal. That's right, I forgot you can take him dead or alive. Had we used the dynamite, we would have brought him in dead. So the bullseye chance with this seems pretty solid. Let's grab it. We still have plenty of money after that. I think we'll give that to Flynn instead of the coach gun. Let's go speak to Bergson. Alright, talk to Bergson. Seemed like Bergson wasn't home this time. Inside we found signs of combat and blood. Someone took Bergson, was moving him somewhere. At least the tracks were quite fresh. Yeah, those are Bergson's tracks. Really, shouldn't come out in those fancy boots in this weather. He's been followed though. Let's go check out Sadie Marlowe's place first. I'm assuming following Bergson's going to lead us to Pilot. Alright, let's talk with the Kalakala refugees. Ask refugees for help with the expedition. We've gathered the refugees and explained the situation to them. We made them understand that clearing the passage was in everyone's best interest, and added something about how they would have a warm place to sleep and something to eat as long as they were willing to work. A lot of them agreed to that, and soon most of the refugees packed up their belongings and left toward the expedition's camp. Alright, look for clues. Carefully searching the house for clues, we found two interesting things. An old photograph of a group of people in front of Sal's saloon, and a knife-carved sentence above the door inside, which Lazarus identified as a Bible quote. Behold, a pale horse, and he who sat on it had the name Death, and Hades was following with him. More tracks. Bergson must be near. What if he met whomever was stalking him?
Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
The pilot got to Bergson before we managed to talk to him about it. There he was, nailed to a cross and horribly mutilated. Before we mercifully ended his torment, he managed to give us a name. Keller. Keller. I know a man by that name. He has a farm not far from Pine Falls. But is it a name of the killer, or the next victim?
Do we have to wander in this snow?
Read that before. Investigate Keller's ties to Pilot. Are you there, Mr. Keller? We have some questions for you. Keller wasn't there. We decided to search the house, just in case. Remembering the Bible quote from Sadie's house, Lazarus found Keller's Bible. The same photograph was tucked between the pages of the Revelations, from whence the quote came. And look at the photo. All the people on it are marked with X's, except... Could this be Sal himself, only younger? Sal wasn't home either. Some drunkards learned something about Sal rushing to an old silver mine. We asked about the host. We left in a hurry, hoping we're finally getting close to the end of this bloody chase. The old silver mine. I was hoping that all the bounty missions would be, at the very least, short combat missions. There's an old shallow mine. Whatever silver people found here must have barely paid for the cost of the operation. Rush inside looking for Sal. Drawing our guns, we rushed inside. There in the light of some mining lamps, we found Keller and Sal. Sal was tied to a chair. Keller had his gun pointed at the saloon owner's head. So he's worth the same dead or alive. But let's talk to Keller first.
Hands up, Keller. We know you're Pilot, and we want to take you alive.
That's right. I am the pilot. At least I am the pilot now. See, 15 years ago this bastard Sal and a bunch of other people from Pine Falls wanted to get rich quick. So they forced people to sell their land to them. And if they didn't, they had them tortured and killed, nailed to crosses. They wanted to look like a work of some madman. They wanted to buy this here mine from me, and when I didn't agree, they killed my wife. So you can do whatever you want, but Sal's the last of them, and I've waited 15 years for that moment. He's not getting out of this alive. Before we could do anything, he shot Sal dead, then dropped the gun and raised his hands. Now, we had to make a tough decision. Lazarus demanded justice. Bill wanted to let the guy go. And all Flynn was talking about was the reward, how there were no innocents in this story. So what? Flynn doesn't want to kill him, so it's odd that shooting him gives me loyalty with Flynn. But we'll take Keller alive. Try to get some justice out of this whole situation.
It's wise to listen to wise advice.
That's a crazy story. We will have the chance to present it to the sheriff once we bring you in, so do not struggle. Keller said nothing. Like whatever had been driving him was gone. We tied him up and took him back to the sheriff. I get the bounty for pilot. Well, Keller, you better get into your cell. Have some Federals coming here when the winter ends to listen to your sappy story. As for your reward, Carter, there you go. Good job. Let's check out the native village. We happen upon a weird gathering. A small group of settlers approached the chief of a native village. The settlers seemed desperate, and the chief and his warriors were getting angrier with every minute. Approach the village. Let's see what's that all about. Hey, what's going on here? Oh, God bless you, mister. Please, help us convince them to trade with us. We brought silver, guns even. We only want the food to survive the cold. That's all you people do, all the time. You want, you need, you take. No more. Go somewhere else with your cursed weapons and trinkets.
The chief is right. Let's remove your folk from the village before they decide to use those guns.
Come on. The settlers have hungry families. I'm sure we can come to some kind of understanding. Hey, why would I not take this one? We get loyalty with both Laughing Deer and Lazarus. Ask Claylish to mediate both groups.
You might learn something from me in the end.
What do you think, Claylish? Is there a way to mediate this? Claylish was happy to help. She sat with the chief and the leader of the settlers to negotiate a deal that satisfied both sides. Even Deer and Lazarus were happy with the outcome. Alright, let's talk with Deer. Chapter 3.
Have you heard about the great leader Diving Bird? Everyone from every nation respected him, even your people. Rather than call for war, he worked for peace. He inspired people to hope that we might one day learn to put our conflicts behind us. He was a fool. As I said, Diving Bird was a fool. There is no coexisting with the settlers who ravaged our land and slaughtered our people. You are a sickness that will one day poison the very earth. Makas saw this. So, he sent me to kill Diving Bird. And I did.
Let's speak with Lazarus. Chapter 2 and then Chapter 3.
Death. Death is important, Jin. Don't you think? Death brings order to life. Just as all things have a beginning, they also need an end. One that we all must face, along with whatever judgment comes thereafter. And the fact that Mammon is messing with something so basic as that is more dangerous than you could know. Ever hear about the Undertaker and his son? Supposedly, those two made pacts with the devil and death himself, then fought for the fate of Purgatory itself. Of course, it's just a story. But folks say the Bible's just a book of stories, too. Stories have power, and they give it to those who tell them best.
Chapter 3.
I used to be a preacher, but I learned early on in that career that my goals conflicted with those of the church. Any institution run by men can be corrupted, and the more powerful that institution, the harder that corruption is to root out. So I gave myself a new start, far beyond the grasp of my congregation. I was always a decent shot, but my faith is even stronger. That gift gives me purpose, and I mean to make the most of it. So I roam around, searching for things that skew the natural balance between life and death. And then I do what I can to tip the scales back where they belong.
Check out up here.
I can't feel the cold, but looking at you makes me shiver.
Check out these native ruins. The ruins had to be old. Very old. Never seen a real cathedral, but the majestic silence I felt around here made me think of them. Approach the ruins. As we rode among the stones, we noticed an altar, similar to the one the Shadow Dance was using during their ritual. Scattered around there were corpses of at least 4 armed and well-equipped men. Search the bodies. I knew these men. They were tasked by Brass & Co. To help me oversee Delir's experiments. Let me see. Yes, right here. This clump of bent metal and crushed glass. This is one of Solomon's contraptions. Siphons, he called them. Someone killed them all and destroyed the machine. Darn, Flint's not a partner yet. We come back here when she is. We're gonna avoid O'Kane's farm for now. I'm sure that's gonna devolve into a fight.
Who could stand before his cold?
There's a Spirit Totem.
When will we finally camp?
Let's check out the Spirit Totem next. The woods were dark and thick here. We could all feel a powerful presence lingering there. If not for the things we've survived lately, I'd probably crap myself. Or maybe it was the fact that I had no soul that made me feel braver. Approach the totem. Flint took a few steps forward, afraid and angry at the same time. Dangerous mixture when it comes to that girl.
Well, we're here. Lalanaet sent us, so show yourself. I'm waiting.
Spirit Bear. I heard stories about him. Never met him in person, though. This is an exceptional thing, Flynn. Do not waste it.
Suddenly, there was a warm wind, and a rustle of branches. Shadows seemed to elongate. The nook we stood on drowned in mournful darkness. And in that darkness, there he was. Huge, majestic, scary as crap. And he spoke. In freaking English, I kid you not.
I know of you, Cub, and of your enemies and your allies, and all the paths that lay before you.
You know about Mammon. You mean, you know about Mammon and his ghost train?
I know that Uktena has awoken, and is rampaging through these lands, sowing chaos and leaving death in its wake. Know this, I want him gone, and I will aid you in finding him.
Who are you? Who exactly are you? You must forgive me. I've already stepped in too much weird crap lately.
I am one of the many. I tend to things that have spirits lingering in them. I guide. I grant power. This must suffice.
How can we find Mammon? Linnaeus said you can help our Flynn to find some kind of gateway to hell. We call it Hellgate Station. Is that right?
Lalanaet spoke true. I can feel tremendous spiritual power in the one you call Flynn. And I can help her unlock it. You, little cub, will have to unravel the cocoon of fear you've been wrapped in since the day you were born.
No! No way! This little piece of witchcraft I've used to survive is enough. I never wanted this, and I definitely don't want this now.
Come on now, Bear. You can't expect this child to.
No one asked you, lady. I can tell him to fuck off all by my lonesome.
Yeah, Flynn can do it.
That was strangely nice, Jen. Thanks.
Flynn, you're our only chance. I know you can do it. And the spirit thinks so too. Right?
This is the only way you'll ever be able to find him and face him with a hope for survival. This is the good way. This is the way, and no other will ever be offered to you.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I guess we can't just use a compass?
Take these herbs. Once you are ready, throw them into a fire burning on sacred ground. Inhale the smoke. This will transport you and 3 others to the spirit world, where you will face your fears.
Thanks for the help. We know everything we need. We thank you for your help.
We'll meet again, Shadowless. Go. Face your fears, young Flynn. I'll be with you.
Alright, let's not start her vision quest yet. I'm gonna call it here. Next time we'll embark on Flynn's vision quest at the Spirit Totem. I wonder if we get the bear as a summon. It'd be cool if we did. Then once we're done with that, we'll go back to the O'Kane farm and see if can't find that engineer. But for now, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.